Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, Jim, I'm just looking out at the weather there and thinking, how am I going to hide my Easter eggs this weekend?
Yeah, you're going to have to use the real good dye so it doesn't wash off. Larry, you came up with a term I hadn't heard before in your latest news release. What is it, and what does it mean?
Well, that's very interesting. I think it's a very catchy name, and it really differentiates our urban mining from our regular mining. And RecycLiCo is the name that you're thinking of, Jim. RecycLiCo describes what urban mining is all about, and it differentiates between our mining properties and our recycling opportunity. And it's an innovation of American Manganese, Inc. for recycling cathode materials from spent lithium-ion batteries. And that's we call it the RecycLiCo patented process, for which we hold patents. And it just basically is, I think, is a real sexy or catchy name for a company that is going to be recycling batteries. And a lot of thought went into it, and there's a video out on it. There's a news release out yesterday, and it's very descriptive. It was picked up by half a dozen different articles. That's one of the good things about this part of the business, Jim, where you're recycling. Before, you couldn't find anybody talking about it unless they were putting it down, and now you're starting to see articles that are based around it. We were mentioned in an article alongside Tesla. That certainly gives us a good exposure to the Tesla shareholders, and it can't do anything but good for the company. So that's RecycLiCo in a nutshell. And that's the name that you'll be hearing a lot more of. It's a trademarked name, and it's owned by AmericanManganeseInc.com. And we'll have a separate page on our website that deals strictly with the recycling opportunity. So it's streamlining everything. It's getting things ready for down the road. And that is, one of the goals that we've been trying to accomplish. We've made a lot of breakthrough announcements in the last 6 weeks. The partnership with the DOE labs, Ames, and Critical Materials Institute. Those labs are now partnering with us. We're a private company that is Canadian, and the only private company and Canadian company that's on this initiative. That's a big verification for us. It says something about our process. Certainly we wouldn't be there if we had some Mickey Mouse process that was in the back room. This is a patented process. We expect to get another patent in the next couple of months on that we filed. And so that's going to be more further news that is going to be coming out. The other big thing was, of course, getting the patent and the patent number itself. And although it was approved in December and published in December, we didn't have the patent number until just recently. So these are things that are happening that are keeping us out in front of everybody. And we want to be leaders in this. We were probably one of the first, well, not the first, but a company that was not associated with batteries or EV cars that were looking into recycling. I can remember the first meeting we had with a battery conference down in Illinois, and there was 4 four, including us, companies that were talking about recycling batteries. They were, one was a university, the others were private. And, at that time we'd already had our proof of concept, and we're getting high recoveries utilizing now we call it the RecycLiCo patented process. And now there's got to be 100 different companies out there talking about recycling, and if I know anything about markets and critical mass, we're going to start to get some attention in that direction, especially on the market, where, I've talked about what's happening with predator trading out there several times, and all I have to point out is that most of the time we close on the market, we close a half a cent lower on a cross of 2,000 or 3,000 shares at the end of the day. And that cross, raises two questions with me. Is there a change of ownership in those crosses? And the other question is, why somebody's closing it down? There's got to be a reason for it. And but the thing is that we have a patented process now that is proven. We've got 3 stages to go through on our pilot plant, and when we get those completed, which will happen sometime before the end of next month, then we're all the way through with what we have to do in the pilot plant. So this is all good news. Certainly we try to keep our investing public informed about what's happening. Hence, we do these podcasts every week. There's always news out there. It's an exciting arena to be in. There's always news on the amount of batteries. They're talking $23 billion worth of recyclables in 2023. That's with a B, billion, $23 billion. Well, will we get it all? Probably not. But certainly we do have a cradle-to-grave solution that should be embraced by these battery manufacturers. They're always under pressure to do something with the batteries. And they've, as far as I'm concerned, the current situation is kind of a make-do situation. And I expect that we'll be getting more and more interest from these electric vehicle battery manufacturers on recycling, because we can turn around the recycled material and it's battery ready. I mean, it doesn't have to go through expensive chemical processes to change the chemistry of the cathode material. It's already done with our process. That saves a tremendous amount of money, and as we know, the EV cars are getting more and more popular, and the biggest reason is that the cost of the cars are going down, and the cost of the battery is the most significant part of that. We can contribute to the reduction of the cost of the cathode materials for the battery. So I think that anybody that's astute should be looking at this and saying, hey, these guys got something, and we should be talking to them. So we are talking to different groups, and but nobody has pulled the trigger on anything yet, and I couldn't even begin to guess when that'll happen. I do know something about critical mass is when more and more people are getting involved in the recycling arena. More and more eyeballs come on recycling, and means more and more eyeballs on us. So, we're coming up to the long weekend. We're taking the 4-day weekend here. Everybody's been working really hard. They deserve a rest. And then we'll be back in harness on Tuesday next week. So, but it's an exciting area to be in, Jim. There's always news out there. It doesn't matter if it's directly involved with the company or if it's directly involved with recycling. There's always news out there that we like to update our shareholders on.
Larry, where can people get more information about your company, and where are you traded? They
can get more information on our company, including RecycLiCo, by going to AmericanManganeseInc.com. And we are traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF, and we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. We can be reached at 778-574-4444, or you could email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com.
Larry, thanks for the update and the new word for our dictionary. Have fun frolicking with the Easter Bunny.
Well, I will certainly do that. I'll be watching out the window to see where he hides my eggs for sure.
My guest has been Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on April 18th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.